He's here. Gary Mehigan is in the house.
Okay. Thanks for the fuss. I really appreciate that.
It's so nice, particularly to have a chef in the house.
Oh, there you go. I always think if you could walk out the door every morning and you got a round of applause, how good would you feel?
You don't.
We're available. We can stand.
Where are you outside my front door?
Now, Gary, obviously, you know, you go to a lot of restaurants and you test them out. So what is it like for you? You walk in, the chefs see you walk in, go, oh, my God, Gary's here. How do you deal with it all?
You know what? It's a very small industry in Australia. Everybody knows everybody. I'm sure it's the same in many industries. And so they're just, you know when a chef's in the house. Another chef knows when another chef's in the house. Actually, young chefs, we always look after. There's always a young person sitting on a table on their own, and you go and find out if they're in the industry. And then, spoil them rotten. Give everything for free.
Really?
Speak to your sommelier. You know, if there's an open bottle that's been tasted, go and pour it. Yeah, it's lovely to see. And I've actually sat in a 3 Michelin star restaurant in France, and exactly that was happening. There was a young lad sitting on a table, bleary-eyed, obviously working very hard, and he was getting the full 5-star treatment with no bill at the end.
Is that because, there is a bit of a crucible of fire that you all go through? Because it's like that in medicine.
I was going to say, come on.
It is the same, because when you go into a practice and, there's a junior doctor or there's someone, because you kind of have this, there's a camaraderie that you can't share with anyone else.
Yeah. And I think it's very specific to your industry, very specific to ours. Maybe it's the same in sports.
Well, being sort of, award-winning journalists and TV presenters, we have that same connection.
Tell us about the Baker Heart and Diabetes Institute. About to turn 100, you're doing a lot of work with them.
Yeah, it's a nice thing to be involved in. There are some things that, you really feel, at one with, and this is a good one. So Baker Institute actually is the only institute or organisation that focuses entirely on heart health and diabetes particularly is on the rise. And heart health is, and we all know it, is one of the big challenges in this country, mostly based on lifestyle, but you can be the professional. I won't answer those questions.
Oh, what happened?
I've learned.
I can help.
But yeah, and the nice thing about Baker, and I didn't realise this until I started getting involved, is that they've been on the cusp of lots of really important moments in history where they've broken through and made change. It could be with diabetes, for example, identifying specifics about that, or being at the cutting edge of heart health prior to the first heart transplant. So things like this, where we're like, wow, proud to be, in a...
Look at you. You look like you know what you're doing.
The funny thing is, too, is that when you go around the institute, because it's a research facility as well as interacting with patients that are suffering from diabetes and heart conditions, is that when you talk to somebody in a lab who's been working on a PhD for 4 years or has been in that specific research or doing that specific research for 10 years, working on the tiniest thing, and then having to explain to me, I go, can you just give that in layman's terms? And they give it to you in layman's terms and you go, a little simpler, just for Shane and I. But these things, what's fascinated me, for example, the other day when we were filming that little segment, is somebody that's so excited about working on this kind of minutiae of heart health that you wouldn't think's important, but if they break through, it'll change everything.
That's where it all starts.
And it's very special to you.
I developed AF during lockdown, so atrial fibrillation. I don't know if it was something that was with me for my life, but they said that it could have been a late onset, for example, so triggers like stress, caffeine, alcohol, could be anything, or it could be just a change.
What is
so when your heart does a little flutter, so you're not technically at risk, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, please.
Because if I do, then please revive me. You're not technically at risk of a heart attack with what I have, but it's more stroke risk. So what your heart's doing is having a little moment where, rather than a regular beat, they described it as a little bag of worms. There's a little area in your heart where the nerves are firing randomly, so you get this little flutter. I just felt low in energy. I was really struggling. I felt kind of pale and clammy. And I thought, you know what, this is not good. So I went and got checked out and they diagnosed me with AF. So I was put on a course of drugs. They made me feel terrible. I think there were beta blockers, there were blood thinners. And I said, there has to be an alternative. And I tapped into what was, a cutting edge, which is where they go in and they laser or...
Ablation?
Ablation.
Yeah.
It's not just heart, it's diabetes as well, isn't it?
I was going to say, I don't have diabetes, but, there's time.
It's on the rise, Shane, and I know you know. I don't like telling you things you already know, but 2 million Australians have got diabetes.
Oh, I had 3, but yeah, you're probably right.
We'll stick with 2 million.
And, to put this in layman's terms, I've got a daughter who's a nurse at Monash, and I never realised how serious the consequences are for diabetes.
No, it is a very serious condition.
It's a very serious condition.
Absolutely.
And you end up with compound issues that then really have serious consequences for people's health.
And because you're here, it'd be very disappointing if you didn't give us some type of food. We've got the kitchen over there. There's some food.
We got very serious there.
Smell something
This happens
cooking
everywhere
up.
you go. Everyone's
Let's
like,
go to the restaurant. Over there.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, what are we going to be eating, Mel?
Okay.
This is good. Beautiful, Gary.
You know,
look
this
at
makes me laugh. This is not what you call a standard bench height.
Have you whipped something up? Something smells really
Shall
good
we?
here.
Yes.
This is I don't know, this is reminiscent of some little cooking show that I might have been on once.
Wow, yeah, right.
Let's have a look under the cloche.
I will give you a dish,
Oh,
eh?
there you go.
Oh, yum.
Wow.
That's
So,
a lovely colour.
yeah, colours.
Great.
Colour is really important when you're eating for health. So I'm doing 12 recipes to start off with and promoting the hell out of them. And this is one. Nice and easy, approachable, healthy, skinless chicken and adding flavour. So I don't know if you can smell that. But I travel to India a lot. So there's a coriander chutney. I've got yoghurt. And you've got to have a good spread of vegetables with everything you eat. So
Could I ask you not to have the
Are you
raw
gonna
onion,
eat?
though? Because we're
I'm
sitting
going to have it
together.
all. I don't know what everyone else is
Well,
going to
I
have.
think what it is an appropriate,
Why don't we get
appropriate portion.
someone from the audience to come and have a bit of a taste? I
You can't be
believe
giving
Claire
this to
is
someone
with
in the
us.
audience.
You're diabetic?
Yes.
Come up and have
Come on,
a
come
taste.
on.
Here we go. Look at this, Gary.
So you
Yes.
have to think about food, don't you?
All the time.
All
Really?
the time.
Is it normally bland?
I think having a chronic disease, that's part of the problem, is feeling excluded from everybody else. So more inclusive foods, and this looks amazing.
Well, Gary's here to help.
You can just grab a skewer.
little
You could take a plate, or you could very delicately put a bit of
Good.
this.
Oh, that looks really good. Thank you so much.
And people are scared
I'll
of
stick it in there as well.
raw onion, but actually,
go.
it's very good
Thank
for
We'll
you.
do it together. You
Lots
can-
of texture.
Well,
Just
How
do
good is
that.
that?
Might be
So simple
thank
marinade.
you.
Oh,
That is so
that's
tasty.
gorgeous.
tasty, tasty, tasty. So there's a few spices in there. Recipes on Baker Institute,
Oh, goodness
just so you
me.
know, so easy to get. And these, and who would have thought, professional
yum.
chef, but 8 minutes in the air fryer, gold. So no barbecue inside. So nice and easy.
Very
So
smart.
delicious. It's tender. Actually, do you know what? You're used to scoring people, so I might try and score you.
Right.
All
But
right.
make it
Okay.
mean something.
It was tender. It was moist. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moist is, you got to be careful with moist though. Moist is
I'm just gonna
It's
pinch
colourful and it's healthy.
it's juicy.
What do you
It's
think?
very
healthy.
juicy.
I think it's
So out of a score of
than what he's-
38, that's the total. I don't know why I did the 38, but
Yep.
I've given you a 38.
There you go.
Thank you, Gary, very much. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Claire.
No, thank you.
And lots of information
Absolutely.
on the website, where to donate, how to get involved if you want to.
Great. All
Follow
the
the story.
details there
You're
on the
all right, mate.
screen.
Oh, it's so
Just too
delicious.
busy
Have another
eating.
one.
When we come back, we're getting to the bottom of our
wow.
bio age. I'm a little nervous and putting our reflexes to the test.